Dear human being, beloved soul, I welcome you to my podcast series, Conversations with the Universe. After a near-death experience, my perception of our human existence changed profoundly. I became more sensitive, with all our known senses. I feel more intensely, see people with different eyes, and often take a different perspective on life and our challenges. In my books, I share these altered perspectives and all the knowledge that has flowed through me since my near death and thus record it. For all those who are searching for something more, for the meaning of our existence here on Mother Earth. And it is now a great pleasure for me to share this knowledge with you in this way as a supplement to my books. This season I am dedicating myself to my very first work, the basics of being. I wish you many wonderful insights on your path. Thank you. Love.
Everything that surrounds us, everything that arises and passes away, transforms and recreates itself, is based on this. We begin with the topic of vibrations. Energy is always in motion, and this motion is called vibration. It always occurs in waves and generates energy fields, the so-called vibrational fields. We humans are also composed of energy units and therefore move energy in a wave-like manner. Every single cell, and thus every organ, but also our thoughts and feelings are energy that create vibrational fields. Now we come to the realm of frequencies. In physics, we have learned that a frequency is composed of two components: the amplitude, i.e., a force, and a speed. Every unit of energy, every energy field has a frequency. It creates it. Just as every planet creates its own frequency, so does every living being, every plant and every animal, everything that is subject to the laws of energy, everything. The zones of less dense energy are also based exclusively on the laws of frequencies, energies, and vibrations. Just because our measuring tools cannot measure these frequencies, i.e., perceive them, does not mean that the frequencies do not exist. The inability of a method does not question the fact of the existence of what is to be measured. Every unit of energy thus creates a vibrational field. This interacts with other vibrational fields and thus goes into resonance. So-called resonance fields arise, which influence each other and cause them to vibrate. Therefore, everything is eternally connected and in constant interaction with everything else. This means that energy units that vibrate can be influenced. That is, they are not fixed in their structures, but only fixed in the laws they follow. In most cases, these are the laws of the environment, such as the temperature of a place. Plastic vibrates differently than wood, for example. Air vibrates differently than water, but in the end, all are only vibrating and resonating energy units in different energy states. If we change one of these factors, the vibration changes. If we heat water, it evaporates. If we heat plastic, it melts, etc. The cosmos consists partly of less dense energies, which we call subtle energies, and partly of more dense energies, which give rise to gross material forms. The Earth is one such place of gross material energy forms. The energy units here are slow compared to the subtle worlds. This inertia gives rise to the coarse and solid matter that we know here on Earth. Thus, everything we find here is an expression of this frequency range and therefore appears different because it is slowed down and denser than in more subtle planes. Subtle beings, which I will explain to you in detail later, cannot exist in our very solid, contracted plane, because the frequencies simply do not make it possible. And conversely, a body cannot become more subtle than the nature of a planet allows. Science is the interpretation of what we perceive. With our consciousness, it is possible for us to perceive the other frequency ranges. All matter appears to the observer in his or her respective horizon of observation. The tools of the observer are crucial for this radius. The coarsest rock, the hardest steel, the form perceived by your senses as the hardest material, will reveal itself to you under a modified observation tool, such as a magnifying glass, as a microcosm of small, vibrating particles and energy vortices. No matter what object you put under the electron microscope on this planet, you will ultimately recognize that the coarsest rock, the hardest steel, the supposedly densest matter consists of vibrating energy units at this magnification. And that is precisely where the law described here begins. The law of vibration is the basis for understanding all other cosmic laws of coarse material matter, and also the subtle levels. Thus, everything that seems coarse material from one point of view is actually also subtle, and vice versa. This process knows no limits except those of our perception. To summarize, the cosmos is energy. Energy moves in waves, in vibrations. In the wheel of being, the frequencies of these vibrations change due to different laws. This creates different frequency zones in which the energy materializes differently. The perception of these forms of matter is closely tied to the frequencies of the beholder and changes with the consciousness of the beholder. You too are energy that resonates with other energies. Not only bodies resonate, but also thoughts and feelings. Everything you see, everything you experience, are vibrational fields in different forms of expression of energy density.
Carpe vitam. Seize your life. Thank you for listening. Love.